Okay. Peace, family. Peace, and black power to all the family. Can y'all hear me okay, well? Can y'all hear me, family? Before I go ahead and get started, hold on. Let me send out this alert real quick. They be shadow banning your brother. Your brother can't ever get the proper reach, but it's all love. Who is meant for is meant for. Shout out to Yanni Bang. Shout out to all the family coming into the building. How's the family doing, family? How is all the family doing? So yes, y'all can hear me. Yes. Yeah, I ain't gonna be on here too long though tonight. We're gonna do a quick, chop it up a lot about, what's going on and the black community. We're gonna talk about the woman king tonight. Okay? We're gonna talk about a woman king tonight. A lot of people have been, up in arms about it. A lot of people have shared their opinion about it. So that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. Where's the family listening from before we get into it? Where's the family listening from before we get into it? Like I say, I'll probably only be on here about 30, 45 minutes, chopping it up with the family. I'm currently working on the newest book series for the family. So I've been in writer's mode. So that's why I haven't been as live lately. When I'm in my writing mode, I like to get in my zone. I don't really like to show my face. I like to stay low key and get to it. Okay. Shout out to DC. Shout out to Washington, DC. Shout out to the sister Taylor in Philadelphia. Shout out to Alkaline Queen in Chicago. Okay. Shout out to Fremont, California. Shout out to Cali. Shout out to Fresno, California. Shout out to Florida. Okay. He said stay on as long as possible, man. We got to get to it, man. We can't just be talking all the time. We got to put in the work too. So, when I be leaving, when y'all don't see me, just know I'm putting in the work. Shout out to Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to Holland. Okay. Shout out to somebody's in Egypt. Shout out to the family in Egypt. Now, I don't know if they're really in Egypt or if they're trolling, but shout out to Egypt. Okay. You dig? But let's get straight into it, family, because like I said, I don't want to be on here too long. I got some more writing to do tonight. But nonetheless, as y'all been seeing, family, the movie came out, the movie The Woman King came out, and they've been advertising this movie for months. They actually been working on this movie, I didn't know, since 2018. This movie was scheduled to come out kind of right after that Black Panther movie. Okay, so right after the Black Panther, in the Black Panther they had the Dora Milaje that was kind of based off the homie Amazon women. So this movie has been scheduled to come out for a while now, and as soon as the trailer dropped for the movie, a lot of people felt a certain type of way, and rightfully so, especially foundational Black Americans because of who and what they were talking about and what it looked like, how they were trying to spin the movie, even in the trailers. A lot of people were like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to see that. People who knew their history. People who knew their history were like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to see that. So the movie came out, The Woman King, and again, it got mixed reviews. Now, some people are saying box office reviews, and a lot of that stuff is paid for, family. It's not real organic audience. They already have a slew of 500 dudes ready to leave a review, a great review. But since it's come out, a lot of people have been kind of torn, especially in the so-called conscious Black community. Some people say to watch it, some people say don't to watch it. I actually went to go see the movie Monday. I went to go see the movie Monday, family, because I didn't personally want to go see it because the angle I felt like they were trying to spin in the movie, even take it to the side, the angle about the Black man and Black woman. They're always, Hollywood productions are always putting the Black man and Black woman against each other. Even besides that, just the angle of how they were portraying the homie Amazon women or the Mino women, you dig? I was like, I don't really want to go support that. Okay. I don't really want to go support that. But nonetheless, I said, listen, if I'm going to do a review on the movie, I got to go see the movie. You dig? That's only fair. That's just like people who prejudge my book. They look at the cover of the book and then they think they know what's in the book. Okay. In order to criticize, I had to go see it. So on Monday night, late Monday night, like 10 o'clock, I went to go see the last showing of the movie. You dig? The last showing of the movie, The Woman King. And I'm about to give y'all my honest review. Now, if you plan on going seeing the movie and you don't want no spoilers, my nigga, you're gonna have to come back and watch this review later because I'm gonna be giving the spoilers. Now, if you didn't plan on watching the movie anyway, and you like, nigga, I just want to know what you think about it, then okay, that's what I'm about to do. So I'm giving y'all a warning, family. I will be giving spoilers. So for the people who, you know, you don't want to hear no spoilers, you don't want to hear what happens, I want to see for myself, you don't want your vision to be clouded, then hey, I'm giving y'all an opportunity. I'm giving y'all a warning to get off while you can. All right. I'm giving y'all a warning to get off while you can because I'm going to be spilling all the beans, as they say. Now, with that being said, I gave you your warning. So let me start off with the positives of the movie. I'm going to start off with the positives of the movie. Number one, it was beautiful to see so many beautiful black women in the film. It was beautiful to see, family, okay? We had our sister Viola Davis, who's a phenomenal actor. She doesn't give enough credit. That sister was in tremendous shape. Viola Davis is 57, family. 57. She looked toned, like she been working out, like she been putting in the work. All the sisters look beautiful. They look fit. The martial arts moves that they were doing in the film, everything looked on point. Okay, it didn't look like they were sloppy. I be seeing some films, like if y'all saw that film Queen Amina on Netflix, that shit was horrible. Nigga, God bless the people who made Queen Amina, who put that on Netflix. That film was horrible. It looked like it had got shot out for iPhone. Okay, some of the moves in there, you can see niggas counting their steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, flip, turn, roll. Lord, Queen Amina on Netflix was horrible. The production was trash. This movie, the production, the quality, you can tell they really put money into the film. You can tell they really trained their ass off to perform some of the moves they were performing. So they put work into it. Okay? They put work into it and you can tell. You can tell. So I appreciated that. I appreciated that. Okay. Like I said, also something that was a positive in the film that I thought they showed some traditional African spiritual systems. They showed Ifa a lot. Okay. The Ifa spiritual system a lot. So they saw a lot of pouring libations. Okay. They showed some traditional customs and dances and different things of that nature. The wardrobes were excellent. They had traditional West African attire. Okay. A lot of the old images that you see of the brothers and sisters in Benin, or what it used to be called the Dahomey Empire, it looks exactly like they represented it in the film. Okay, so they brought those clothing, those traditions to life. All right, and I think that's what. Hold on. I think that's what our elder was talking about, because our elder has been receiving a lot of slack, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit. Shout out to one of our master teachers, Anthony Browder, and Anthony Browder made a very interesting comment. Hold on, let me share my screen. A lot of people thought people were kind of getting on the elder. They were like, "Nigga, did somebody hack you? Did somebody hack your Instagram account?" So our elder Baba Browder, and I got nothing but love and respect, but he said some things that were kind of controversial. He said the woman king is the closest we've gotten to cinematic reparations. Lord, it was magnificent. It made me love Africa and made me love African women more. Did I say it was magnificent? And this is Baba Browder. Now, y'all know Baba Browder is a master teacher in the game. Baba Browder is somebody who I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for. But, Elder, I got to respectfully disagree. And I feel like I might need to call the elder. I got to see if that was really him. Did somebody hack the account? Did somebody hack our brother's account? Mm, just the words. I don't mind people saying, "Hey, man, I enjoyed the film," but then cinematic reparations. Oh Lord, Baba. Mm, yeah, Baba. Respectfully, I'm because I'm never gonna disrespect my elders, but I'm just, as the younger generation, I'm gonna need a more complete breakdown of what was the cinematic reparations that Baba Browder saw. you know. And I saw this right before I watched the movie, so I was kind of like, oh well, shit. Is it maybe they were speaking truth to power? Maybe the trailer didn't do it justice. Maybe they're not gonna try to whitewash history or nothing like that. Okay. because we know Baba Brown is a master teacher. He knows his history. So, of course, he's not naive to Dahomey and what they were doing. You know, I hate to say it, was it a little payoff going on or what? What happened, But anyway, so that was the positives of the film. Somebody is naive, somebody who comes in watching, they don't know much about the history. I'm sure they love the film, the fighting scenes, X, Y, and Z. But here's the negatives of the film, and it was a lot of goddamn negatives. It was a lot of not damn negatives, okay? And the obvious negative, I'm gonna say that for the end, and that's the historical inaccuracy of the film. But number one, family, in this film, 90% of the ass whooping that was happening in the film was happening to black men. Okay? Boy, you didn't see a white person get killed. I was checking my goddamn watch. You didn't see a white person get killed to the very, very, very end of the movie. Shit, we were almost in the credit scenes before a white person got killed. That's what I came there for. I'm like, well, shit, maybe at least I can see some hunkies get their ass whooped on camera or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe I can. Boy, you had to wait all the way to the end. They made you wait all the way to the end for the hunky ass whoopings. Okay, so the whole film basically, the chief villain of the film is a black man. Okay, it's a black man from the Oya tribe, another tribe, and he's out here selling people from Dahomey. He's selling them into slavery. Now there's white people in the film. There's a white dude in the film, and clearly he's the head slave master. Okay, they kind of didn't make it about him. No, they didn't make it about him. They kind of made it about the one big Negro who was out here, the black man who was out here selling the homie men, women, and children into slavery. All right. And so the whole gist of the movie was trying to kill this nigga. And I'm like, damn, bruh. You got all these white people just sitting around here, all of them sitting up here in the castles, and ain't nobody, getting on their top like that. They were really after the black dude. And that's a big thing with a lot of these movies, family. You're going to see two things. Either you're going to see a white savior. So they didn't have a white savior in this film. Okay. But if you don't have a white savior, they have to make the black dude the head villain. They have to make another black person the real enemy of the movie. So the arch villain in this movie was a black dude. Okay. And this black dude, weighing on that whole black man, that whole gender divide, the reason why Viola Davis, her character, was so hell bent on killing this black dude was because this black dude supposedly raped her, okay, in her younger life. Oh, he just raped the shit out of Viola Davis. And she's been after him ever since. So it's playing on that whole toxic masculinity. So you got this big black slave owner, slave trader from the opposite tribe. He's enslaving the homie women and children, and then he's out here raping white women. So it's like, okay. So they played on the whole toxic masculinity thing. Just like in Harriet, family. Y'all remember in Harriet, they had the chief villain was this big black dude named Bigger Long. That's who Harriet was running from. Some mythological Negro that they made up who never existed. They always had to make up this big mythological Negro in the film. This big mythological Negro who's whooping ass and taking names, okay? He's out here whooping ass. Yeah, the dude in the film, he damn near did a pimp slap. I'm like, hold on now. They weren't pimp slapping motherfuckers back then. Yeah, he's fighting Viola. He shut up, bitch. Oh, stop it. Okay, so that's who everybody's really after in the film. The white dudes are kind of like side characters. Yeah, Whitey's bad, but the real problem is this black man, this big toxic black Negro who's selling our people. Okay, and he's out here raping us. Yeah, and he's asking for more women to take and sell and do whatever to. All right. So they played on that whole toxic masculinity thing. They always made the dudes the man in this film. There was another scene, and they showed this in the trailer, where you had a sister from the Dahomey Amazon crew, and you had another brother, and they're facing off, and the woman beats them. Okay, they got this spear up against their shoulder or heart, and the first one to tap out, and the man taps out. So this whole thing of the feminized black man, then they got another feminized black man from the time the movie starts to the time it ends, switching around. He's the messenger for the king. Okay, so that was the LGBTQ agenda. Okay, for the people who saw that, did y'all catch that? There was a Negro from the time the film opened to the time it ended. He's just switching around left and right. King Gazy said you can't be doing that. Mm-mm. He's just switching around left and right. Lord. Okay. Y'all gonna get killed now. Mm-mm. He's just sassing his way around. So you know they cropped that in there, okay? We know that nigga didn't exist. Okay, because we know how in ancient Africa how they got down about homosexuality. You dig? So they got this Negro just switching around left and right. He's putting that sass in there. You know, that American sassiness just keeps coming out. He's trying to hold his accent the whole movie, and it just keeps slipping out. Girl, that nigga toxic. I was just waiting for him to say that. Girl, that nigga sliver. He's selling slave. He just switching around. He's supposed to be the messenger for the king. So they got that nigga. So they got the feminized black man. They got the toxic black man. Okay, then you got the king that's prayed by our brother. What's our brother's name from the UK? Boyega or something like that. Brother's a great actor. Great actor, man. I thought he did a phenomenal job in the film as well. Okay, thought he did a phenomenal job in the film as well. You know, his character, he's kind of firm, he's kind of in the middle, but at the same time, he never really puts his foot down like that. You got the women running him from both ends. You got the feminine women running him, and then you got the masculine women, which is Viola Davis and the Amazons. They're running him as well. So every time he tell them not to do something, they go and do the opposite. And he ain't never put his foot down. So you got the wishy-washy nigga, okay? You got the beta male ass nigga. But he's in an alpha position. You know, every time they disrespect him, they say they're doing it for his own good. So you got that whole dynamic of things, and the women are supposed to be the ones who are the real strong gatekeepers. You also in this film, there's a supposed to be a supposed relationship between the younger sister in the film, who turns out to be Viola Davis's daughter. So the backstory on that is you have her, the dude who raped her allegedly got her pregnant. She had a baby. The baby got sold away, and then somehow the baby came back again, and they didn't know it, and it happened to be her daughter. So her daughter falls in love with a mulatto brother. This brother's mother was from Dahomey, and he had a white slave master father. All right. Now she falls in love with this dude, but they never show any affection towards each other. It's one of those things, they never show a positive relationship really between the black man and black woman in this whole film. They didn't show any positive relationship. Okay. Any real affection. Everything was kind of like hidden. All right. And at the end of the movie, what was powerful? At the end of the movie, Viola Davis's daughter, after they saved her from the slave dungeons, that's how they end the movie. They act like the homie went up there and saved folks from the slave dungeons. We're going to get into that later. But at the end of the movie, after the mulatto brother, because the mulatto brother kind of looked out for the sister the whole time. He was kind of saving her. He bought her and everything. He was like, no, y'all not going to enslave her, X, Y, and Z. He was looking out for her, saved her. And they were clearly feeling each other. She kind of decided at the end that she wasn't going to go with this brothers to wherever he was going back to. She was going to stick with the sisters. I thought that was real powerful. I thought that was real powerful. She's clearly in love with this dude, and she's speaking the whole film about love, and the black women are like, no, love? Oh, no, ain't no love. Ain't no love. Girl, it's only us, basically. It's only us. It's only us and serving the empire, serving the king, serving the sisterhood. Okay? And at the end, she had a chance and opportunity to go with the brother, and she kind of just looked at him and walked away like, nope, that's toxic. I thought that was very interesting. I thought that was very interesting, family. So that whole dynamic between the black man and black woman, they really played to all the stereotypes in this one. They really played to all the stereotypes in this one. Also, in this film, they kind of displayed the feminine black woman as somebody who can't be trusted. Okay? If you will notice that, if you ever watch the film, you'll notice that. The feminine women in this film, the women who were underneath the king, they played kind of that smooth, laid back, feminine role, traditional woman role, they were looked at as untrustworthy. You can't really trust them. They're just leeches. They just want to sit here and do nothing all day. I thought that was very interesting because that's the dynamic we see now. As black men, and sisters, rock with me for a second. As black men, when we say we want feminine women, society makes us think, oh, well, you want a woman who's weak. And they kind of played to that. The real women, the real strong alpha women were the women who are in their homie, the women who don't love no man. Those were the women who could do no wrong. Those were the women who were always right. Those were the women who were saving the homie and freeing people. And the feminine women were almost looked at as schemers in this film. You know, they had another sister, one of the wives of our brother John Boyega. You know, she's trying to become the so-called woman king. She's trying to become his equal. And Viola Davis is kind of like, she ain't nothing but a peasant. It was kind of one of those things. Yeah, man. Yeah, yes, yeah. That's what it kind of meant. She played that John Boyegas. He had like 10 wives in this film, but the main wife, they kind of made her look like she was untrustworthy because she was very feminine. She was very feminine. She didn't really raise her voice like that. She was just very feminine in her approach. She wasn't out there whooping ass and taking names. She was very beautiful sister and she was feminine. She was well done, X, Y, and Z. She was complimenting the king and they made her look weak. All right. I thought that was very interesting. That was very interesting. And then John Boyega's character, like I say, he's just leaning every which way. He's trying to be firm, but then he let him get away with anything type shit. So that was one of the things. Like I say, very, very stereotypical about society. But what do you expect, family? Because you got to remember now. Hold on, you got to remember. Whenever you see this, family, hold on. Whenever you see this, you already know it's gonna be some bullshit. Whenever, one second. All right, let me share my screen. Boom. Now, this is a little history. The woman king. Oh, I got to the wrong one. Hold on. Now, you got two white women who are running this thing, family. Two white women who are running this thing. They try to hide them. Notice in a lot of the press releases. Oh, damn. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on one second, family. I'm on the wrong one. I'm like, damn, where'd it go? They done took the white woman off already. Okay. Now, this is one of the writers. This is the main writer, Donna Stevens, for The Woman King. They always have this. Now, they've been running around. If you watch The Breakfast Club, if you watch any of these press releases, they've been running around talking about black girl magic. Black girl, black girl. Oh my God, black women. We're showing black women on film. Oh, black women. Oh, black women are so great. Oh, black women, black women, black women. Remember, the writer of this film is a white woman. Okay. Also, remember, the producer of this film was another white woman. Let's be clear. They'll give you a black face, but it's going to be some white hands behind that black face. It's going to be some white hands behind that black face. So when we see all this bullshit, when we see the no love and affection, when we see some of these stereotypical things, the toxic black man, remember who's co-signing that. These are the folks who's writing it. Okay? These are the folks who's writing it. Now, whenever they love to take these so-called historical stories and they'll fictionize the part they shouldn't fictionize, and then the part that you can fictionize, like you can show some relationships, some positive relationships between black men and black women. They don't never fictionize that. They keep it strictly accurate on that. Okay? Because it is true that the Dahomey women, they weren't allowed to be married. They weren't allowed to do X, Y, and Z. But hell, y'all could have fictionalized that. Y'all fictionalized everything else. You dig? Y'all could have showed a positive relationship between a black man and black woman. Y'all fictionalized everything else. But boy, they don't fictionalize that. They kept it straight. They kept it strictly on that. Okay? They said, no, we're not going to show any positive relationships. So whenever y'all see that, y'all already know the bullshit is coming. Remember in that Harriet film, like I said, you had that black slave catcher named Bigger Long. And at the end of the Harriet film, remember, the white slave owner had to save Harriet from Bigger Long. Okay, that's remember, it was a white woman writing that shit. She wrote Harriet. It was a white woman that wrote Harriet. So they do these little things like that, family. They always do these little things. But the biggest glare in the film clearly was the just historical inaccuracies of the film, family. The historical inaccuracies of the film. Dahomey, the kingdom of Dahomey, were some of the biggest slave traders in Africa. Hell, they in the world, forget Africa, in the world, family, they were some of the biggest slave traders in the world. That was their damn near their whole economy. And that was rare for African people. Because it was rare that African nations made a whole economy off slavery. And they did it, I'm going to say they did it by choice. Because the kingdom of Dahomey, they had other things. They had palm oil, and they talked about that palm oil in there. That could have been very lucrative. Hell, there's hella resources all up and down Africa, west coast of Africa, gold, different things of that nature. They chose to participate in the slave trade. Now, the movie takes place around, they say, the year 1823. Okay, around this year is when Dahomey, they talked about, yeah, we were slave traders, but they had a change of heart. That was the big thing in the film. Oh, Viola Davis's character was like, shit, no. Oh Lord, I don't want to sell our people no more. We don't have to sell our people. She was doing this whole thing. They didn't have to sell their people anymore. Okay. And in 1823, that's when they stopped the slave trade. They basically just said enough is enough. We're not going to be an empire that sells our people or other people. You did. We're going to stop the slave trade. Family, that was cap. Let me tell you something about Dahomey. Dahomey, even after the slave trade, dude, even after the slave trade was abolished, they were still doing slavery. Okay. They had slaves of their own, they were doing for ritual sacrifices. Okay. They were using them to work on the land, X, Y, and Z. They had completely embodied the mind of the colonizer. You did? Completely embodied the mind of the colonizer, and they knew what they were doing was wrong. This wasn't a situation where, because you had some African nations who honestly didn't know what was going on because they were selling their prisoners of war. So you had some African nations who were like, hey man, it's my prisoner of war, X, Y, and Z. But then when they found out, when they saw what was going on, how the white man was using, they said, oh hell no, we ain't doing that no more. Okay. They said, oh no, we ain't doing that no more. Dahomey wasn't one of the ones. In Dahomey, they had something called the tree of forgetfulness. Okay, they would literally walk folks around this tree, family, and the tree is gone, but they have statues and things up to commemorate it. Okay, they would literally walk people around this tree right here. Well, it was right here at one point in time. They will walk people around this tree, family, and hopefully they forget what the people of Dahomey did to them. Okay, because they had this big thing like, hey man, and I'm talking about over here in this right hand corner. Okay, this statue that they have commemorating the tree of forgetfulness. And they will walk folks around this tree after they had caught them and were getting ready to sell them to the Europeans, hoping they would forget what they had done. Okay, so that we wouldn't remember and come back and seek revenge. Well, damn it, Dahomey, that shit worked for a while, but that shit ain't working no more. We remember. We remember, family. And see, they're seeing that right now with this film. Oh, we remember. Because we got some Dahomey coons, descendants of those slave masters over here now, trying to run propaganda and run game. Okay? We, damn it, we remember. That tree of forgetfulness, it worked for a while. But damn it, we remember now. Okay? And we're not going to play this whole game of somehow you're the hero. We're not going to allow you to be even portrayed as a hero. They don't allow the Nazi men to be portrayed as heroes in movies. They don't. They're always the bad guy, as they should be. Okay? When have you ever seen a Nazi movie where the Nazi men are portrayed as heroes and saviors? You don't ever see that shit. They're not going to allow you to see that. Okay? They're not going to allow you to remix history. Okay? So these folks knew what they were doing was wrong, and they continued to do it. I'm talking about family. Up until damn near the Civil War, they were selling people. A lot of people don't know. One of the last enslaved people who actually came to the United States of America was a brother by the name of Cujo Lewis. Cujo Lewis, he went and set up a prosperous town in Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, called Africa Town. And our sister, our great foundational Black American elder ancestor, Zora Neale Hurston, went down and interviewed him in like the 1930s. Okay, interviewed this brother in the 1930s. Let me show you a picture of him if I can. Let me show you a picture of him if I can. This is our brother. He came here in the 1860s on a ship called Clotilda. This was one of the last, this was an illegal slave trade ship, okay, in the 1860s, okay, because the slave trade was banned like in the 1808, 1810. They banned the slave trade. So nearly 40 years after, they were still sneakily going back and forth to Africa selling folks, okay, getting folks. And most times the people they were getting it from was the people of Dahomey, okay, was the people of Dahomey and these Amazonian women. That's who they were getting it from. And so one of the last brothers they took was our brother right here, Cujo Lewis. This is our brother right here, okay? This is our elder, this is our ancestor. And this brother was on the Clotilda, one of the last ships. They actually still have some remains of this ship and now in museums. I believe it's in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. Okay, this was our brother. And when he told Queen Mother Zora Neale Hurston about his story, she asked him, "Hey man, what happened to you?" He said, "Shit, I was kidnapped by the women of Dahomey." Okay, this is in 1860. Now in the film, they say, "Hey, shit, they stopped the slave trade in the 1820s." And you got Negroes been running around here on Twitter and other places. Hey man, they used to sell slaves, but then they had stopped selling slaves. No, they didn't, nigga. They were still selling slaves. This is 5 years before the Civil War. Okay, they were going out there way to sell niggas. So this is one of the brothers that they sold, Brother Cujo Lewis. Okay, one of the last enslaved people to come through the transatlantic slave trade. You dig? And he set up a prosperous town in Mobile, Alabama that's still there to this day. His town that he built in Mobile, Alabama is still there to this day. But this is one of our ancestors who spoke truth to power. Okay, and this is him, I believe, in his queen. This is in 1914. You dig? So we have people who gave damn near testimonies about the women of Dahomey. They gave testimonies. You dig? And this is his memorial, his statue, X, Y, and Z. And I want to show you a video of one of the towns because it's a whole statue of him down there in Mobile. Hold on, I got to get more fluid with the whole StreamYard. I need to find a new streaming service. You dig? But this is our brother down here, and they did a great article about him. But listen to this. Let me put myself on mute.
Mobile is home to an African-American treasure many people are unaware of, Africa Town, and a man whose legacy lives on today. Cujo Kazula Lewis is a prime example of hidden history during this Black History Month. A cast iron image pays tribute to the last surviving member of the final slave ship that came into America. Cujo Lewis is one of more than 100 slaves captured in West Africa and brought here on.
Real quick, somebody said, "Do you have any historical sources that Black scholars about Dahomey selling Africans?" Yes, Cujo Lewis. Shit, who you looking at right now? He was an eyewitness account in the 1860s. Okay, and his story is documented by one of our master foundational Black American teachers, Zora Neale Hurston. She went down there and interviewed that brother in the 1930s. Okay, so this is walking proof. This ain't got nothing to do with no white folks. Oh, white folks, because we try to play this propaganda game, or white people, they just made up the story about Dahomey. No, this is a brother, okay, who was one of the last enslaved people to come here in the 1860s. He told Zora Neale Hurston his story. She went down there, no white folks was involved. It was her and him, okay? And she told his story, and he said the Dahomey women came, kidnapped him, and sold him out. That's what he said, okay? And you can look that up. That's been documented. So, but let me continue the video.
on the Clotilda in 1859 after a Mobile businessman made a bet he could sneak them in illegally.
Remember the story, but don't hold it against them, because if you do, you're going to become the master.
After a Mobile businessman made a bet he could sneak them in illegally.
Remember the story, but don't hold it against them, because if you do, you're going to become the master of your hate. And you're going to be a slave to yourself. And that's the worst kind of slavery to do, when you have self-induced slavery.
Israel Lewis III is the great-great-grandson of Cudjoe Lewis. He talks.
They always find a butter biscuit eating Negro. Okay? Now, don't y'all start hating now. This is supposed to be his great-grandson. Don't y'all start hating now. Now, yeah, white peoples and some people sold us out, and white peoples were bad to us, but don't you hate. Stop it. Nigga, you better hate something. You better hate something, family. Let me tell you. See, we be playing this whole thing of forgiving and all that shit, and then the shit happens again, and then we sitting up here bucking our eyes. Lord, how did this happen again? Nigga, you better never, let me tell y'all something. Never forgive or forget what they did. Never forgive or forget what they did, especially when they've done nothing, okay, to repair the wounds that they caused. They've done nothing. They don't want to get no reparations. Okay, they're out here making fake movies like they were the heroes. They're not remorseful at all. Let's be clear. They're not remorseful at all. You dig? We get told as foundational Black Americans, oh, well, nigga, you need to get over it. You need to get over it. Hey, man. Hey, listen, man, that's not true. You got people out here making excuses for them. No, no, no. No, no, no. You dig? Yeah, it should be a little hate in your heart. That's just natural. When somebody's done you wrong and been doing you wrong hundreds of years, did your mother wrong, did your grandmother wrong, did your great-great-grandmother wrong, and as far as back as you can remember been doing you wrong, you should develop a little hate in your heart. That's natural. That's human instinct. See, I argue with people who, I look at people funny if you don't feel a certain type of way about it. Why don't you feel a certain type of way about it? Because you feel like, hey, we deserve this at the end of the day. Oh, shit, we ain't gonna complain about it now. No. We're gonna keep stepping on their neck about it. Okay? Because they keep putting out this bullshit. And this movie was disrespectful. Like I said, you don't see no Holocaust movies where the Nazi men are the heroes. You dig? You don't see a single Holocaust movie where the Nazi men are the heroes. People who put them in internment camps and they turn around and they become the heroes of the film. You dig? You don't see that at all. And you don't see other groups of people writing their script. Okay, where is the Black person who wrote a Holocaust film, a major production Holocaust film? They don't allow that. But we got white folks writing our film and then making some of our biggest oppressors the heroes. We can't have it. You dig? Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just disrespectful. It's about respect. But we've always been given disrespect, especially as foundational Black Americans. And you have people out here trying to shame us into accepting it. Hey man, y'all just need to support this Black movie. Let me tell Black people in general, foundational Black Americans especially, but Black people in general. It is not your job to settle for scraps. These are scraps of Hollywood. Okay? These are scraps. That's what they gave us. Okay? And every time they feed us these scraps, they tell us to be appreciative of it. Hey man, y'all better just be appreciative of all these Black folks in the film. Nigga, fuck all that. Okay? Fuck all that. I don't want to see bullshit through a Black face, a white face, an Asian face, a Hispanic face. I want to see the truth. I want to see the truth. And I want real Black empowerment on the screen. There are other movies they could have made, family. If you wanted a movie about a powerful Black woman, you could have did Queen Nzinga. You dig? Queen Nzinga, who fought the Portuguese 51 of her 82 years of life for trying to enslave her people. Master chess player, master magician on the chessboard, pioneered some of that guerrilla warfare skills out there in Angola. You could have did Queen Amerinus, who fought the Romans. She was a straight gangster. Rode in on elephants, powerful sister. Powerful sister, actually fought for her people. You did? You could have did Queen Yaya, who led to Ghana's independence. She fought for that golden stool. The brothers around there in Ghana were acting bitch made. And she said, listen, nigga, y'all king is sitting up here in prison and y'all sitting up here like some weak beta males. She got the brothers right. You did? She got the brothers right. And she said, no, we ain't giving up this golden stool. We're not turning down and we're not participating in colonization in real life. We're not going for that no more. These are powerful warrior queens. You could come to the Caribbean. You could do Nanny of the Maroons, who fought the British. She was Ashanti. She was an African sister, fought the British. You dig? And had those maroon settlements, never captured, never conquered. A national hero in Jamaica. You could have did Carlotta. It's plenty of powerful black women you could have displayed. But see, the problem with that is many of these black women had relationships with black men. Okay, they had relationships with black men, so they couldn't really display it like that. They had to get the Dahomey Mino because, see, they were this all-woman army. And by the way, you had men in the Dahomey army as well. Let's be clear. You had men in the Dahomey army as well. They kind of downplayed them. Okay, this was this all-woman army. They weren't allowed to have men. That fit perfectly with their agenda. There were plenty of black queens, powerful black African queens they could have got. Okay, you could have got Aunt Toya, who taught who did she teach? She taught Dessalines, I believe, how to fight. Excuse me, Toussaint how to fight. You did? You could have got her. She came now, she was Dahomey as well, but when she came to the Americas, she got on some revolutionary shit. And so it's plenty of folks you could have got, family. But they strategically chose them because they got to run the agenda. They got to run that agenda, family. So people want to shame us anytime they show black folks on the screen. We're just forced to support it. We're just forced to support it. Hey man, and if we don't support it, then y'all really just don't want to see no black women. Y'all hating on the black women. Stop it. They've been running that propaganda. There was this woman. She's up here. Hold on. Let me pull her up. She's up here talking about, because the brother asked her a straightforward question. He was like, hey man, is this film whitewashed? Listen to what she says. And I believe she's South African. She's South African, if I'm not mistaken. So she's a non-FBA. But nonetheless, listen to what she says. Let me put myself on mute.
Two questions for you, Dr. Sherry. Number one, I don't know if you've seen the movie yet, but is this a whitewash attempt of true history? And do you think this campaign is a concerted effort that we don't realize it may be coming from someone or some group and we're just falling in line with it?
I think there are multiple factors at play. I think first and foremost, some of the sort of pushback is coming from the intellectual community itself. The intellectual community, of course, myself being a representative of the intellectual community, is very much wedded to the nuances of history and really pulling out what's happening in a specific moment with various groups of people. I think that's very important. I think it's critical, and I actually think it gives us a place to speak as historians, but also as just moviegoers. I think there's another part of the controversy, and that is that we are seeing for the first time a major US motion picture that's focused on Black women. And might I add, Davis is really intent on having dark-skinned Black women represented in this film. She calls it a magnum opus. Part of the reason she says that is it has taken her a very long time to be able to cast people in the way that she envisioned it, to be able to meditate on the fact that there was an all-female a military regiment in Africa. She's
Family, okay, family. Again, so they got to play the whole woman. We not mad. It's not about these Negroes. And I understand when he said it was it a whitewashing of the film, she kind of just babbled through that. Oh yeah, well, in the intellectual community, we have the conversation. But what this is really about, this is really about a lot of people just don't want to see no black women on screen. Stop it. Stop it. Let me tell sisters something. Sisters, this is not a win for black women. Number one, they didn't show you any positive relationships with a black man. You need black men to survive. Black men need black women to survive, okay? They didn't show any positive relationship with it. You dig? Number two, they made you very masculine, and that works in counter to you. I've been telling sisters about that strong black women thing for years. White folks run that strong black women on you because they're saying you're the woman, you can feel no pain. The black woman can take anything. That's why they hype you up. You can feel no pain. You can't hurt her. So they've been running this game forever. That's why during enslavement, a lot of the early medical malpractices were practices on black women. Okay. A lot of that stuff was practiced on, oh, that strong sister girl, she can't feel anything. She's not a woman. She's a woman king. Oh, she's a big masculine. She can take anything. You can hit her. You can beat her. Oh, you have to be over aggressive with this strong black woman. Okay, she doesn't even need a man because she is the king. Look at the play on words, the woman king. Okay, they don't need men. These black women, they didn't need men. They don't need. Hey, these black women can take anything. So therefore, when these police officers are roughing up black women, hey, look at this woman king. I mean, I have to be this aggressive with this one. She's not really a woman. Okay? They've been running that game for years. This is why Queen Mother Sojourner Truth, she had that poem, Ain't I a Woman? Because goddamn, you treat me like I'm a damn man. You got me out here doing the same shit the man doing. You putting your hands on me just like the man. So they're always trying to masculinize the black woman so they can treat you like a man. See, they don't have to treat you like a woman now because you're so strong. You're Amazonian. You're from Dahomey. Okay, this wasn't no positive for black women. This wasn't no positive at all. See, we got to stop being desperate from Hollywood crumbs. Anytime they feed us some crumbs, we got to come out in record numbers and just support it just to support it. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Okay, wasn't nothing black woman empowerment about this film, because when you go home and do your research, you're gonna find out none of this shit true. You did. There was no positive relationships with any black man in this film. You dig? All the women had been raped and hurt. Fuck type shit is that? All of them had been beat up by men in the film. That was another thing. The backstory of damn near all the women were, well, I tried to be a housewife and the nigga was just beating my ass. Viola Davis character, she was raped. That's why she had so much hatred. She was raped by a black man. Okay, the other leader, the other soldier leader who did a terrific job, I believe that sister's name is some Lynch. Okay, she was hurt by men or something like that. Damn, every damn relationship wasn't nothing positive about this. And you got to go out here and fight a war and kill motherfuckers. You did. You got to sell your babies away, X, Y, and Z. Nah, wasn't nothing positive about that, family. So don't let them run this whole con game on you about, well, y'all just need to get out here and support this black woman empowerment. No, empowerment is when you tell the truth, you show accurate history, you show your story, and we own and control this. This movie was not owned by black folks. This movie was not written by black folks. This movie was not produced by black folks. It had a lot of black faces. You dig? A lot of black faces, which is cool to see, but it was no control there. Yeah, man. Yeah, they got to sell our trauma. They got to sell our trauma. Like I said, there's plenty of other movies they could have did, family, if they wanted to tell some accurate history. If they wanted to tell some accurate history, they could have did it. And a lot of people picked up on game. And shout out to our sister, Lupita, non-FBA sister. That sister's Kenyan and her father, I believe, is Mexican. That sister got on code, okay? That sister got on code because originally they offered Lupita the role. Lupita is the sister who plays in the Black Panther. She played T'Challa's girlfriend in the Black Panther. She turned down the role. She actually visited. She was excited about getting the role at first, allegedly. And this is according to, it was an article written in the New Yorker. So y'all go check out that article. It was an article written in the New Yorker, family. Okay, called Sisterhood, I believe Sisterhood and Slavery. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick so y'all can go read it on your own time so y'all don't think I'm making anything up. You dig? Let me. Okay, so this is an article came out maybe a week ago in the New Yorker called Sisterhood and Slavery in the Woman King. Okay, written in the New Yorker, great article. But in this article, Lupita was originally offered the role of the Woman King, Viola Davis's character, in 2018 after the Black Panther, and she turned it down after she visited their homie and saw some of the actual things that they were doing over there, family. Okay, she saw some of the actual things they were doing. The king had a damn thrones made out of skulls, just all the skulls of the niggas he didn't kill. She was like, oh my God. She talked to people over there, okay, who remembered their homie and some of the stories their grandparents gave them about selling off their relatives. And she ended up turning down the role, allegedly. Okay, I gotta say allegedly. You dig? But she definitely turned down the role. All right. So our sister went over there and she's like, nah, I can't play that role. And I respect that. We got to start having some more of that. And salute to her, non-foundational Black American sister, for being on code. For being on code, family. You dig? That's how it's supposed to be. That's what we mean. Because some of these non-foundational Black Americans, they get over here and anytime it's anything dealing with Africa, they just accept it. They just have to accept it. No. We don't have to accept crumbs, family. We're better than that. We're better than that. And that's what we're doing all the way around the board. See, we're staying on code now. It's not just about movies. We're not accepting no crumbs from Hollywood. We're not accepting no crumbs from these politicians. You're not going to convince us that somehow voter we get student loan forgiveness is Black reparations. No. You're not going to convince us of these bullshit things anymore. We want reparations in the form of cash payments. We don't want cinematic reparations. Shout out to Anthony Browder, but damn it, I don't know what my elder was talking about on that one. We ain't looking for no cinematic reparations. We want ownership. We want control. We want reparations in the form of cash payments. We're not settling for crumbs anymore. Okay? Stop being desperate for crumbs. Okay? Whatever they throw you, you do not have to accept. Okay, yeah, I know we've been fighting for these roles in Hollywood. I know we've been pushing for all Black casts, but it got to be the right situation, family. Because when you settle for shit like that, you make it worse for the next generation. You dig? See, when we settled for Obama and Obama did nothing for us, we made it worse for the next generation. Because now every white president can say, hey, man, well, you didn't make Obama do that. Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, all these folks got killed under Obama. He didn't say nothing. He just went to the church and sung a song. And now the next generation got to deal with that because you accepted that bullshit. So nah, we got to stand on our P's and Q's, man. We got to stay on our P's and Q's, excuse me. Yeah, we got to make the depiction more accurate. And honestly, I wouldn't give the homie, somebody said, so in a nutshell, what would have made the depiction more accurate? Not having the damn movie. That wasn't worth having a movie. Certain people you don't give that type of shine to. Okay? You don't give that type of shine to unless you're going to show it in a real demonic way, which it actually is. Okay? You can't give certain type of shine to certain type of shit. Not when you got all this revolutionary movies that could happen. Hell, you want a revolutionary movie? Give me Queen Amarinis. Give me Nzinga. Give me Queen Yaya. Give me Nanny. Give me Queen Carlotta of Cuba. Give me Biddy Mason. It's plenty of black women we can go down the line with. You dig? Warrior queens. Give me these queens. Don't give me somebody who is selling us out. No, certain shit shouldn't even have a movie. It shouldn't even get that type of spotlight. You dig? And damn it, if you just hell bent on giving it a spotlight, make it accurate for the true victims who were involved in that situation. And say, well, we wanted to highlight this movie as a learning lesson, as a teaching moment. You dig? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. No, I don't mind that. What has she been trolling? Hold on. Let me see. The truth is they were selling black people out. Okay, that's the truth. That's the truth. Plain and simple. That's the truth, plain and simple, family. All right, no ends or buts about that. All right, the proof is we got brothers like Kojo Lewis who told us who kidnapped him and sold him to the Europeans in the 1860s, 40 years after the movie took place, after the movie claimed the time period took place. You dig? Yeah, that's just why, yeah, and this is why we're fighting right now. And I told y'all I'm gonna get into the movie industry. You know, we setting up some plays for that now. We have to get into the movie industry and we have to accurately tell our story because movies are powerful, family. Some people say it's just a movie. Y'all know majority of our people are not going to read, especially the babies. The babies, majority of the babies are going to remember the movies they watched. And they're going to pass this on to the babies like it's some type of empowering thing. Okay? And now our babies are going to get false history. And they understand this. Hollywood understands this. They understand that movies is a part of propaganda. You have good propaganda, you have bad propaganda. Propaganda changes things. Even in Nazi Germany, family, before the Nazis put European Jews in internment camps, they ran a whole bunch of propaganda on the radio stations, in the newspapers. Jewish people stealing this, Jewish people, they were depicting them with long hook noses. They were doing all this propaganda pieces. The European Jewish community learned from that. That's why they master and they own media now. Notice that. European Jews go out their way to own media. They own Hollywood now. They learn from their mistakes. They said, listen, we used to let that bullshit slide back before the World War. We used to let them depict us any type of ways. Oh, man, it's just a newspaper. Oh, man, people dumb and stupid and ignorant. We ain't tripping over that. And then they see, well, shit, that propaganda led to our demise. It led to people really believing this, so much so they put us in ovens. So now this is what we're going to do as the next generation. We're going to learn from the mistakes and we ain't letting no propaganda slide. Listen, you say anything about the Jewish community, they trying to take down your video. They don't care how small of a YouTuber you are. So that's the thing. We can't let any propaganda slide. This was propaganda. Yes, indeed. But let me answer some questions. But that's my 2 cents. So all in all, before I answer the questions, all in all, if I had to grade the movie, I'm giving the movie probably a 3 out of 10. Okay. And I'm going to give it the 3 just because, they had some good action scenes and stuff in the movie. But as far as historical accuracy, no, it wasn't on point. Some of the relationships they depicted between black men and black women, no. So I give it a 3 out of 10. Okay. I wouldn't recommend you showing this to your kids unless you're teaching them about propaganda. Now, if you're going to teach them about propaganda and how Hollywood falsely falsely depicts black people or events in a certain way in order to push a certain agenda, then yeah, I would suggest you show it to your kids. But this is not one you just pop in for your kids and you go in the other room and chill or go start in the kitchen and start cooking. You dig? This is one you're going to have to break down and explain to them the lies and who these women really were. You dig? I understand it might seem cool, but these women weren't anybody to be proud of or to be celebrated. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I've seen The Little Mermaid. Yeah, I've seen a lot of white supremacists. A lot of white supremacists been extremely upset, and they've been doing a lot of. I've been seeing a lot of people co-sign a lot of these white supremacists. They've been getting on the woman king and stuff. Understand, for them, it is in bad faith. Let's be clear. For them, it is in bad faith. White supremacists are going to complain about everything. They complain about any cast with a black lead. These white supremacists. So yeah, we have a legitimate argument as Foundation of Black Americans. They were going to complain about it anyway. If that had really happened, let's just say the Woman King was accurate. Okay. And they were selling slaves at first, but then they stopped the slave trade and they said, no, we're not doing it anymore. And they freed some slaves. Let's just say that was accurate for a second. The white supremacists will still be complaining about it. So don't be confused by that, because now they're trying to, I've even had some white supremacists on me. Hey man, what you're saying, the Woman King, yeah, that's right in the act, man. Yeah. They'll try to act like they're on our side. Let's be clear. Anything black, they're going to boycott. They were mad at the Black Panther. So now they're mad about the Little Mermaid. They have nothing better to do. So you got our beautiful sister, what's her name? Is it Bailey? What's the sister's name that's playing the Little Mermaid? She's playing the Little Mermaid now, Bailey, and some of the white supremacists are attacking her. Oh my God, dude. The mermaid's supposed to be white, dude. The niggers are taking over everything. Why can't they just get their own character, bro? Oh, they're all the white tears. They're crying about it. Like, nigga, all the niggas y'all done threw in the sea during the transatlantic slave trade. Shit, one of these mermaids ought to be black. Shit. All the Negroes y'all done threw in the sea. All my ancestors that done had to jump the ship, damn it. One of the mermaids gotta be black. Okay? One of them gotta be black. So they're doing a lot of crying about it. Yeah, that's the sister Haley Bailey. Shout out to Haley Bailey. Beautiful sister, very talented singer and everything like that. Yeah, so now they're very upset about that. Oh my God, my kids have to grow up with the black Little Mermaid. Oh, it's just the end of the world for the white supremacists right now. So, like I said, they complain about everything. Don't really pay attention. I haven't even watched any of their reviews or anything like that. Okay, so they've been really trying to milk it. Then you have some just disingenuous coons who they complain about every black lead movie. They claim it's reverse racism or whatever, you know. So you have some of that, family. Yeah, man. You said they still mad because I don't understand what you're saying, Yanni Bang. But hit that like button, family. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Yeah, hit that like button. Make sure you share. And again, Global Black Family, Foundational Black American Family. The moral of the story is this: we don't have to settle for crumbs. Whatever Hollywood feeds us, we have a right to critique it. It's our story. And see, we're going to be the ones who have to live with the consequences of the propaganda. We're going to be the ones. So you call out this type of bullshit. You dig? They sit around here, they parade all these black women around here. Oh, it's black girl magic. But then when it comes time to writing, it's a white woman writing it. When it's to producing, it's a white woman producing it. You dig? When it comes to ownership, white people are pretty much going to own this film. They probably funded this film. So we have to do everything at a grassroots level, family. And we're going to have to tell our own stories. We're going to have start putting our money where our mouth is. That's why brothers and sisters who are in the film industry, brothers who make documentaries, movies, things of that nature, we have to support them. We have to support them, family. Because that's the only way we're going to get out the real history, the real story. Okay? You got to support. Yeah, man. Much love and respect to the family. Yeah, man. Much love and respect. Much love and respect to the family. Yeah, some people. I mean, like I say, I'm not mad. I don't blame y'all for not seeing it. You know, I saw it because I wanted to give y'all a review. I saw it because I wanted to give y'all a review, and I feel like if I'm going to speak on it, you dig? If I'm going to speak on it, then I have to give y'all I have to watch the movie myself. You say I only got 3 likes. Man, come on, family. Make sure y'all like the video. Sometimes the YouTube don't update it till late. Make sure y'all like the video, they family. Yeah, we need a story about Bass Reeves. Family, there's so many. Y'all don't understand. There are so many stories, revolutionary individuals that we can tell movies about, family. So many. Somebody just mentioned, you got a brother by the name of Bass Reeves. They have stolen and portrayed this brother's story as everybody but a black man. Okay, this is the true story of the Lone Ranger. This brother was enslaved in Arkansas. His master went when his master moved to Texas. This nigga beat up his master in Texas, went to move out west, learned damn near every indigenous language out there, and became one of the baddest men in the West. Okay? The real Lone Ranger. Came the first black U.S. Marshal, locked up over 3,000 criminals out west. One of the big reasons we're able to move and operate out west is because of brother like Bash Reeves. If this brother was white, we'll see a movie about Bash Reeves every year. If the true Bash Reeves, if he was white, we would see a movie about him every goddamn year. Incredible story. Incredible story. You dig? Incredible story, man. So many stories like this. Yeah, man. So many stories. Yeah, the real McCoy. We got so many inventors. You dig? You have another brother by the name of John C. Robinson. This is a brother who couldn't get into aviator school, couldn't get into flight school. This brother became a janitor in the flight school and learned flying from being a janitor, just from being a damn mouse on the wall or a mouse in the corner of the room. He would stay there, act like he was sweeping, and learned how to fly through that. Came out, started his own flight school for black folks. When the Ethiopian Italian war kicked off, he went over there to Ethiopia to help them fight the war. Started their aviation program out there in Ethiopia. Incredible brother. No movie about him. Niggas ain't never even heard of him. Never even heard of him. No thoughts of him. You dig? You have 21 black families who went out there to California, started the city of LA. Okay? Started the city of LA. The place we call Hollywood now was originally owned by a black woman. You got so many stories, man. So many stories. And that's just in the United States. And that's just to name a few, family. That's just the name of few. You have the Seminole Wars. You have, like I said, the Maroons of Jamaica. You have Suriname, the Maroons of Suriname who were running shit, who were controlling damn near the whole so-called country of Suriname. You dig? So many stories, so much insight that they haven't put on the big screen. Yet they put this. They put the propaganda pieces. This is why we're going to have to fund it. Queen Amarinas, Queen Nzinga. You dig? Mansa Musa still doesn't have a movie. You dig? At least he was getting to the paper. You dig? You have a brother by the name of Malik Ambar out there in India, revolutionized guerrilla warfare out there on the seas. You have another brother, Moore, General Tariq. He's the reason why we used it. This brother was such a good fighter. This brother controlled the seas so much. They start calling it a tariff. When you cross that seas and they got to tax your ass, they call it a tariff after General Tariq, black man. Okay? Have another brother who went into Europe. What's my brother's name? Zipperod, I believe it is. Zipperod, something like that. Moore went into Europe, taught them how to bathe, taught them how to use alcohol. You dig? Was a master musician. So many people. So many people, family. So many movies you could make that haven't even been touched. Now we got 100 slave movies, and they all inaccurate as well. You dig? But nobody's touching these. Yeah, John Horse, man. Zumba down there in South America. Oh my God, dude. So many stories. We got brothers who pioneered and explored half of the United States. We got brothers Jean-Baptiste Dusable, discovered the city of Chicago. Okay, Black Joe Hodges discovered the city of Buffalo. It was foundational Black Americans and Bahamian individuals who went down there and pretty much built the city of Miami. You dig? Pretty much built it. So many stories, so many things you can talk about. And the list goes on and on and on. We ain't talked about Asia. We ain't talked about the brothers and sisters in the Pacific. Okay, we ain't talked about the last royal black kingdom, not in Africa, but in Hawaii. Okay, in Hawaii. Had a brother by the name of Duke. This brother pioneered modern day surfing. A lot of people don't know that. Out of Hawaii. I want to see a movie on this brother. Hold on, let me pull him up. Okay, because some of y'all gonna think I'm capping. Duke Hamoi. I can't even pronounce his name. But hold on, let me stop the screen. Boop. There we go. So many movies. This brother pioneered modern day surfing. This is a black brother out of Hawaii. And this brother, and they try to downplay his blackness. They try to downplay our brother's blackness out of Hawaii. You know, that brother came over here to the United States and they wouldn't even let him in certain swimming pools. They were like, oh, hell no, that's a nigga. You dig? They say, oh no, that's a Negro. Okay, he's part of that original Hawaiian class. Okay, these are the real true-blooded Hawaiians. This brother pioneered surfing out there. Okay, they call him the father of surf. Black brother, swam in the Olympics. You dig? When he came here to the Americas, they would dress up in blackface to make fun of his blackness. Powerful brother. Powerful brother. I'm going to talk about him in my next book. That next book is going to be powerful, family. The next book is going to be powerful. The 500 amazing facts about the Negro. We're going to dive into all of that. Every fact can be its own movie. Every fact can be its own movie. Every fact can be its own movie. Yeah, the Black Samurai. We got a lot of people, man. Yeah, man. You said Professor Smalls was from where? Shout out to Baba Smalls. Yeah, man, but we got to fund it. See, this is why I say everybody's going to play a role, family. This is why I tell y'all, get out the leadership thing. People keep trying to, I be seeing people online, you supposed to be a leader. I'm not no damn leader. Okay? Okay? The code is the leadership. That's our leadership. All of us being on code, and the code is Black empowerment. That's the leader. The leader is Black empowerment. And all of us got a role to play. Everybody watching this, some of y'all might not be talkers. Some of y'all can't be talkers. Hey, man, I got the folks at the job watching. I can't really talk. But what I can do, I can put $100 on the campaign. That's your role to play. Okay? Some of you might not have money, but you got time. So you can study and read and make sure the information is out there. Okay? Some of you might not have time and money, but what you do have is a set of skills, maybe masonry. Maybe some of you are good with guns. You were in the military, X, Y, and Z. You can each one teach one. You did? You can have your own little thing. Everybody has a role to play, family. So when it comes to these movies, the whole white community plays a role. Everybody funds it. They make sure to support it. We be complaining about these white Egyptian movies, but goddamn it, they put out so many white Egyptian movies that because they go out, they know people are going to go out and watch it. Everybody's on code. Yeah, they know it's propaganda, but everybody's on code with the propaganda. See, that's what we got to do. We got to stop sitting around and begging Jay-Z, begging Kanye, man, why don't y'all make a movie about Black kings and queens? Man, fuck all that. We can do it ourselves. Let's pool our money together. We pool our money together when it's time to get them damn J's. Hell, we be lined up. We give Jordan millions of dollars in a day. We can do the same thing when it comes to our films. And the second big thing, we got to stop hating too. There's a lot of us, when we have people who are doing certain stuff, if we don't like that person, we start hating and trying to sabotage them. Man, that nigga, I wouldn't give no money to that nigga for the film, man. That nigga scamming. Stop it. Stop hating. Stop hating, especially if you're not going to do it. If you're not going to put out a film, damn sure stop hating. You need to shut the hell up, sit in the corner somewhere. You dig? So that's the thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, we this is a leaderless movement, right? Leaders get killed. Absolutely. This is a leaderless movement. I'm not the leader of nobody. I'm just playing my part. I'm doing my job. That's it. I'm on my job, as Barry White used to say. You did. You got to stay on your job. I'm playing my role. I'm pushing myself to the limits. And I'm trying to get better and better. I'm whatever the community, whatever y'all need me to be, and I can do it, I'm going to try to do it. You dig? It's going to come a time when I might get older. Hopefully I grow to an old age. And it's like, Chase, man, we need you to stop speaking, man. Let the younger brothers and sisters have a voice. It's time for me to step back then. Now I got to play the eldership role. It ain't my time to be on Front Street. It ain't my time to be all up in the media and commenting on stuff. It's just the time to sit back and be the wise elder. Everybody got a role to play. Okay? Everybody got a role to play. You got to be whatever the community needs you to be. Yeah, is Professor Smalls from California? I didn't know he was from California. I didn't know Professor Smalls from California. I thought Professor Smalls from South Carolina. Are y'all sure he's from California? I think Professor Smalls from South Carolina. I know because he told me to put some money on that Lincoln Heights. I talked to him the other day. I think he has a connection out there, but I think Professor Smalls from South Carolina. I'm almost sure about that. I'm almost sure about that. You see, he grew up all around. Yeah, Professor Small been around for a while. Yeah, I'm almost sure he's from South Carolina, though. But yes, indeed, family. But like I say, at the end of the day, we got to get right. We got to keep pushing. Yeah, he is from South Carolina. We got to get right. We got to keep pushing, and we got to support the ones, like I say, who are doing the right thing. Speaking of Professor Smalls has a great show out. Professor Smalls, have y'all seen The Godfather of Harlem? See, the reason why that show is so thorough is because Professor Smalls is the historian on the show. I love that show. The Godfather of Harlem, based off Bumpy Johnson. Okay? Bumpy Johnson out there in Harlem. Terrific show. And they downplot that show a lot. That show is on Epix. So yeah, I got the Epix app just to watch that show. You did? Y'all need to go and support. You need to go get Epix and you need to go and support The Godfather of Harlem. I think it's on Hulu too. But the new episodes, I believe, be coming out on Epix. But yeah, man, that's a thorough show. Yeah, man, y'all got to go watch The Godfather of Harlem. Godfather of Harlem is speaking about how black folks were on code in Harlem about their black empowerment, speaking about Bumpy Johnson, Adam Clayton Powell, Malcolm X, how they were working together to control Harlem and how they were fighting out the real gangsters and hoodlums, the Italians, the Dutch, X, Y, and Z. And they were showing even how the street element was on code. That's a terrific show because it has a black historian. It has a black historian. So that show is terrific, man. That show is terrific, man. Real thorough. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, they're always delaying the seasons. See, when you have a thorough show like that, they keep it real low key. It's up to us to make that high key. We need to start promoting that. And I think they got 2 seasons right now. They have they announced the 3rd season? Hopefully they announced the 3rd season because they like to play with the money. I know Bobby Smalls was saying, he was telling me one time on the phone, they like to play with the money. You dig? Excellent show, though. That show, you can get some real deal game from a real historian's perspective. Because Professor Smalls was around during that time. He was there with Bumpy. He was there with Malcolm. He was talking to Malcolm. You dig? He was with Malcolm's sister, Ella Collins. You dig? Get in that game. Bob was from South Carolina, where Bumpy was from. So he knows that culture. He knows the attitude that came with it. And you feel that. You feel that, family. You feel like you in Harlem. I'm getting game from the show. You dig? The actors that play the role are excellent. Yes, indeed. The Godfather of Harlem. Y'all need to all go see that. Make sure you go watch that, family. Make sure you go watch that. Thorough show. Thorough show. Black owned. I mean, it's not black owned, but it's at least it has a black historian. It could probably be even better if it was black owned. See, when we get those black owned films like The Spook Who Sat by the Door, see, that's the reason why they don't want us in Hollywood. That Spook Who Sat by the Door, they were doing some of them black exploitation films back in the day. Them black exploitation films, and white folks said, oh, we're going to blackball the Negroes out of Hollywood. And we said, cool, shit. We'll make our own little movies and we'll sell it on Sunday for $1 at the local theater. And our brother made Spook Who Sat by the Door. Boy, The white folks found out what that shit was and they banned that shit. Boy, they banned that movie. Shout out to our brother who was on Sister Sister, man. That brother had an old copy of that movie. He bootlegged the movie and put it back out. That's the only reason why we know about that movie now. Yeah, that movie was hard. Yeah, man, that movie was hard. You said it's another channel got Bible. Okay, much respect. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. But listen, family, I'm about to get off of here. I hope y'all enjoyed the little review, man. Again, I'm in my book writing phase, so I'm not gonna be on here a lot live. I'm gonna try to, I try to get on here maybe once every 2 weeks. We get back on the YouTube, but nonetheless, it's about putting in the work. So that's what I'm doing. Just understand, when I'm not on here talking to y'all, I'm putting in the work. We're working on the newest book series, trying to get as much accurate information out as possible so we can trickle it down to all levels, so we can go to the babies, and when the babies grow up, they can make movies out of these stories that we got in script, okay, in person. So I appreciate all the love and support, family. If you want to support me more, please click that link down below in the description. Click that link to the Voice of the Ancestors book series. That's my book series. That's my personal book series, Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1, 2, and 3, as well as 19 white men who admitted there were indigenous black people in Americas. Make sure you go get that tonight, family. I would really appreciate it if you go get that tonight. Nonetheless, let's keep pushing. Let's keep working. We all got a role to play. We all got a role to play. You dig? And stay thorough in your role. Be patient in your role. Don't get impatient. Don't settle for crumbs. Okay? Don't settle for crumbs. I know you're kind of comfortable at the job, and yeah, you got a racist ass boss, but nigga, try to get your own shit still. I know the pay is good, but try to get your own shit still. So we don't have to settle for bullshit roles and bullshit movies like this. You dig? It's your brother Chase, and until next time, peace and black power. I'm out.